Welcome to Unjaded. You know what I just realized? I just realized that I have been batch recording podcast episodes all afternoon, and I have not worn my headphones for any of them. So I sure hope that my amazing editor, Alvin, is able to fix this up for us, because otherwise it will be driving you crazy, especially if you have one of the acoustic gates in your human design. So on this episode of Unjaded, I am going to be answering a listener question. And that listener question is, what does responding actually look like in real life? I know that as a generator or a manifesting generator, I am here to live in response, but I don't have the first clue what that actually means in my life. I love this question, and I get it all the time from generator types. So stay tuned if you would like to know how to use your strategy of response in your actual life. Welcome to Unjaded. This is your straight talk, shoot from the hip, wrapped in a little bit of love, Human Design for Business podcast. We talk a lot here about clarifying your message so that you can bring in paying clients with ease. And ease is different from easy. Stick around to find out how we roll here. I'm your host, Vickie Dickson. I am a 2-4 emotional manifesting generator, light on the emotional, and I'm a quad right in human design. In real speak, I am an entrepreneur of 30 plus years. I've had every kind of business there is, and I always say that business is my love language. I can't wait to dive in with you here on the podcast. So first, if you have no idea what I am talking about with these funny words like manifesting generator and response and strategy, then I invite you to go to my website. It's VickieDickson.com. It's linked in the show notes. Just pause this episode and head on over there to run your human design chart. So human design is a snapshot of 2 moments in time. It's the moment of your birth and the moment your soul entered your body about 88 days before birth. It's a mix of different systems like the I Ching, the chakra system, the Kabbalah, and astrology. And it gives you a snapshot of who you're here to be. I'm telling you, human design, it is incredible how bang on it is every single time. I was just talking to my chiropractor today, and he didn't know what it was either. And I said, even when I have, I'm sorry guys if you're listening, but even when I have husbands come to me and they, their wives bought them a reading or whatever, or making them do this, and they don't really believe in it, every single time they're like, oh my God, how did you know that? And your human design holds your highest potential, your greatest gifts, all of the ways that you've been told that you're wrong, and how to actually come out and stand in your power again so that you can have the impact that you're here to have. So each of the human design types, there are 4 or 5 human design types, depending on who you ask. Manifesting generators are a subtype of generators, so they are a generator type. So that's where we get the 4 versus 5. But all of each type has its own strategy for how to show up in life, for how your energy works in life. And generator types, which includes manifesting generators, have these big enveloping auras. They take everything in. We want to just magnetize everything to us. And our strategy is to respond. So responding is different than reacting, but it is actually responding to things that are already happening around you. So you're not here to initiate as a generator type, but we've all been conditioned to go out and make things happen, right? Like the Nike commercials, just do it. But as a generator, we wait to respond, which doesn't mean that you're doing nothing while you're waiting to respond. The secret is in making the waiting juicy. I love the word juicy. Now you may call it something else. So as a generator, manifesting generator, your signature theme, the thing that makes you know that you are 100% on track, is when you feel satisfied. So I would ask you, how would you describe a feeling of satisfaction? When you are fully and totally satisfied, what does that feel like for you? For me, it feels juicy in my sacral. It's like, the moment after the perfect kiss, or that first bite of a Junior Mint when you've been craving chocolate all day. You know what I'm saying? Or this might be not PG enough for this podcast, but really, really, really good sex. The feeling you have in your body after, satisfaction. Absolutely satisfied. So by doing what you love as a generator type, you experience this feeling of satisfaction. And when you feel really fully satisfied, your energy field is open to all of the things that the universe is trying to send your way for you to respond to. So in real life, it could look like, let's say you're slaving away at your desk and you're trying to create a course because you've heard that online courses are the only way to make money in the online space. That's a topic for another episode. But anyway, it feels like a slog. You're sitting at your desk and you're frustrated. When you're frustrated, it's telling you that you're off track. It's not that you're doing something wrong. It's like, hey, something's off track here in you. Your energy is not flowing the way that it should be flowing. It's not that you're getting the task wrong. It's probably that you weren't in response and you just tried to create from nothing. So it feels like a slog. It feels like you have to drag yourself into your office. It feels like you're looking at your laptop and you want to smash it against the wall. Frustration is building and it's just not coming together like it should. It is difficult, really, really difficult to make the thing happen. That's because you're not in response. You're initiating. So try this instead. Let's say that you have an idea for an online course and you're in this mastermind and someone is talking about creating courses and you feel your sacral get juicy. You feel yourself be pulled. Think how a magnet pulls something to it. And I wish you could see me. My body is like moving with my sacral. So your sacral, if you're new here, your sacral is a center that is located in your body just below your belly button. And that's the creative and the life force center. So that's like magnetizing you to the experiences that are right for you. So you're in this mastermind and you hear someone talking about creating courses. And then you go to a coffee shop and you overhear two women talking about what your business focus is and that they're wishing that they could learn more about that. And then you see a billboard on the way home that says, create your online course effortlessly today. You get home and there's a postcard in your mailbox advertising an online course. So at that point, I think it's safe to say that the universe is giving you confirmation. You've responded to something and the universe is like showing you, hey, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. You're seeing online courses everywhere. And then you get to take another step. And this isn't just for generators. This is for all of us, okay? So now you have to decide what course you're going to create. I would love for you, no matter what your human design type, to get into the habit of not creating anything before you've sold it. I know, right? I know. You want to create the thing. You want to have the course, all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, and you want to be able to put this perfect thing out into the ethers and say, look what I did. I made this for you. But you know what's going to happen, right? You haven't lived until you've had that happen where you've put that perfect thing that you've slaved away on out into the ethers and you get crickets. It is painful. So what you want to do instead is you want to pre-sell your course or your offer because you want to vet your idea. You could realistically spend months and months toiling away on this course that will never sell. I see this happen so many times with clients that I work with, and they come to me and they are discouraged and they think they're never going to make $1 in the online space, and they think that only the Jenna Kuchers of the world, and I'm trying to think of someone else, the Amy Porterfields, only those people will make money in the online space. But that's not the case. There is a lot of money being made in the online space, but what you're doing is you are going to vet your idea first. So you're putting feelers out there to see what your people are struggling with and how you can help. You want to be paid to create your course because otherwise you're going to spend weeks or months on end creating this perfect thing. You're not getting paid anything while you're doing that. And then you put it out and it doesn't sell. And maybe you've paid for a tech stack behind it. And maybe you've paid for VA and all of those things. So pre-sell your beta round, pre-sell it. And as a generator, I'm going to tell you, generator, manifesting generator, I'm going to tell you that teaching your first round of your course live is the most magical thing that you will ever do because you will continually be responding to your clients. You'll create far better content than you will when you're in your office alone because you're built for response. So I'll give you another real life example that happened to me today. So a friend of mine, Lorianne Mirabito, you can look up her podcast. It's Be in Demand. She is a speaking coach. She is absolutely brilliant. And she was in my Content by Design course call today. And she said, you know, I'm just kind of wondering because there was so much gold in that call today. What if you got SpeakerPipe? So that's an app where people can leave you voice memos. So what if you got SpeakerPipe and you had us drop the gold from our session with you that you could then use as a little intro onto your podcast episodes? This is not the first time I've heard about SpeakerPipe. This is not the first time I've heard this idea. But immediately I was like, oh my gosh, you're brilliant. I am mind blown here. This is what I need to do. It was me in response. Now, if I had just heard about SpeakPipe and gone on SpeakPipe and tried to do that myself, it probably would have been a slog. It would have been like me trying to make something happen through that. But because my sacral responded to that with a yes, then I know that it's the right thing for me. So I waited and now I'm in response. How does it feel in your body? I explained some of the experiences that it may feel like. It may feel different to you. A lot of people on my call today said that it felt like a big exhale. They feel calm. I do not feel calm. When my sacral responds, I feel anything but calm. So I'm always surprised. We all have a different lived experience, right? But I'm always kind of surprised when people say, I feel calm or I feel like I can exhale. I'm like, really? I feel like, okay, let's do this. I'm so excited. So for me, it's juicy, it's satisfying, it's effortless. I'm in the flow. When you are responding, you are so able to be in the flow. It's like nothing could stop you if it tried. So you can tone your sacral. You can totally make your sacral, I was going to say make it work better. That's not what we want to do. But you need to practice living in response. You need to practice living in response. And the way that you can do that is by allowing yourself to feel satisfied. As a generator type, you are here to feel full-on satisfaction. And when you feel satisfaction, you will light up the field around you and you will magnetize the experiences, the people, the places, the things to you that you're meant to experience, that you're meant to respond to. Tone your sacral by asking yes or no questions. So ask the people in your life to ask you yes or no questions. And I am so guilty of this. As you can tell in this episode, I can babble. When you're with someone and they're babbling on about this, that, and the other thing in their business and blah, blah, and you just want to say, like, is there a question in there? Because as a generator or a manifesting generator, like, it can feel a little bit like deer in the headlights when people are going on with all of this information swirling around. There's no question. So it doesn't give you something to respond to. It doesn't give you something to grasp onto. Or they're giving you so many choices. Do you want to go for fish and chips? Would you like to go to the pub? Would you like to go for pizza? Do you feel like Italian? What about Mexican? And you're like, huh? Like, you just can't respond because there's too many things. So yes or no questions. Do you want Italian? And your sacral will go, or or Like, you will have a response in your body to that. Do you want to create a course about meditation? Do you want to teach people how to play singing bowls? Do you want to be a health coach? Do you want to work with moms over 40 who are struggling with secondary fertility issues? You can ask your sacral absolutely anything. So you tone it by you asking yourself yes or no questions. So when you take your lunch break today and you go into your kitchen and you look at your cupboards, don't stand there and look at all the things that you could have. Ask yourself, do I want tuna? Do I want eggs? Do I want salad? Do I want a bagel? So just ask yourself one thing at a time and then set the people up in your life to ask you something. It's like when you can engage your sacral by being asked, it makes everything come alive in you. So that's what it feels like in real life. So I better wrap this up. I'm getting way around the mulberry bush on this one. It just makes me so excited to think about response. So the good news is that you get to play with how this feels in your body. It's your experiment. It's your lived experience. So you get to play with how it feels to sit back and wait for something to respond to. And it will feel different for you than it feels for me, but it will be magical just the same. So allow yourself to wait, and it doesn't mean you're waiting lying on the couch eating bonbons. It just means that you are waiting, and while you are waiting, your only job is to be satisfied. Your only job is to be lit up for whatever it is that you are doing, so that when the opportunities come, you will be magnetizing the right things to you for you to respond to. Okay. If you would love to submit a question to have me answer, maybe in less than 15 minutes, not like this episode, I absolutely love it because it gives me something to respond to. So reach out on Instagram, it's Vickie.Dickson, or on the website. All the links are in the show notes with your question, and I will answer it live on a show.